We've talked a lot about the terrible impact the COVID pandemic is having on Oklahoma restaurants. But what about the farmers who grow and raise the products they sell? Our state's farmers and ranchers are facing their own significant challenges. But as ONR's Jason Doyle reports, a fresh influx of $14 billion in federal support has things looking up down on the farm.
We get up every day and do what we do: feed cows, water cows, moving cattle to grass pastures.
That's the attitude of Oklahoma farmers and ranchers, no matter what they face in the fields, including a pandemic. Kelly Payne is the president of the Oklahoma National Stockyards. She had a bird's eye view of what happened to cattle producers as the COVID-19 pandemic started to impact food supply chains earlier this year.
We're a barn that last year sold 415,000 head of cattle, and it's not uncommon for us to have 8 to 10,000 head a week, if not more. So what we had the first 2 weeks were 1,200 and 1,300 head runs, and we just didn't even know how to respond.
When Congress passed the CARES Act in March, it set up the Coronavirus Food Assistance Program, or CFAP, for the USDA to distribute relief funds to agriculture producers.
It was very much needed, and it was a lifeline for a lot of our producers. So when we saw all commodity prices go down, you saw the stock market go down, all the financial markets go down at the same time, but some of the commodities were really, really hard hit.
In Oklahoma, we had about 34,000 participants and paid just under $350 million. So it is a fairly significant program.
That's nearly half of Oklahoma's estimated 77,300 farm operations getting relief from the first round. USDA recently launched the second round, called CFAP 2, infused with $14 billion in new funding.
Start on September 21st, runs through the second week in December. Right now, there's no plans to extend that or move those dates. They're pretty solid.
The previous version of the Coronavirus Food Assistance Program did not include a staple of Oklahoma's agriculture economy.
The second round kind of fixes some of the folks that got left out. For instance, hard red winter wheat was left out in the first round of the payments, and this time it's been included in there.
The additional aid for Oklahoma wheat farmers is just in time because planting season is underway on the state's 4.2 million acres dedicated to growing wheat.
We're right in the middle of wheat planting right now. I got another couple hours left on this place, and we're about a third of the way done.
Carl Williams is a third-generation farmer outside of Coyle.
It's family farm. It's Dad and then me, and then
Okay.
my grandpa started it.
Williams did get access to financial help from the first round of CFAP for his cattle production. He's certainly glad the CFAP 2 program includes red winter wheat.
Now it's probably a good thing because the price of wheat at harvest this year was about $1 less than it was in 2019, so that's a pretty significant decrease in revenue. Yeah, the timing's pretty good now too because people are spending a lot of money on inputs, fertilizer and seed and fuel and whatnot right now.
So there's an awful lot of wheat that's been getting planted across the state the last couple of weeks, and that still is by far our biggest grain crop, and that's one of the things where the payments are going to be helpful.
Oklahoma averages about 100 million bushels of wheat production a year. Oklahoma Farm Bureau President Rod Moselle says he's encouraging farmers and ranchers to get with their local USDA Farm Services Administration office to find out if they can access the relief funds.
Our main goal right now is trying to keep as many of the farm operations viable as possible for better days that we know lie ahead.
The main thing I would stress to anybody interested is simply call the local office. There are a lot of eligibilities. We can walk through it real quick, but we need to hear from you.
During the initial wave of the pandemic, the food supply chain issues created empty shelves and higher prices at the grocery store. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says meat, poultry, and fish rose sharply by 4.3% in April at the beginning of the pandemic. Cereal and bakery items increased by 2.9%, some of the largest retail food price increases ever recorded. The usual price change is less than a percentage point. The hope is the relief program will keep grocery store prices in check.
They keep consumer prices from escalating to extreme high levels during times when there's shortages, and they help protect farmers from being knocked out of business when prices drop to real low levels.
Farmers and ranchers are certainly used to adversity. It's part of life on the farm. So any help to make it to the next season is always welcome.
Whenever some of the relief money became available, it helped a lot of folks.
It helped. It helped. I mean, any little bit. Anytime when the markets are down, any extra revenue source is really needed.
We have to keep our farmers and ranchers in business, and so that's what this is, a lifeline. The CFAP programs are really a lifeline to buy us time to get the markets fixed.
Jason Doyle, the Oklahoma News Report.